Hey guys, I'm Doug. Welcome to my mountain kitchen. This is the episode you all been waiting for on how to make my bread. Bacon, cheddar, jalapeno. It's awesome. It will not survive a meal. If you put that out there on the table, it will be gone before the meal is done. I can guarantee you that in a freaking heartbeat. But let me show you the layout of this bread and how we're going to make this. What we have here is 500 grams of flour, bread flour. You can use all-purpose, but it won't puff up as nice as bread flour does. Okay? What we got here is a half a cup of shredded cheddar cheese, mild cheddar cheese. Nice big thick stuff, okay? And what we got here is 2 strips of bacon fried up crispy, chopped up real fine so it spreads all through the bread when you get it mixed all together. And then you have a 1/4 cup of chopped up jalapenos, okay? Chopped them up fine. We have a tablespoon of sugar, okay? We have 10 grams of salt, and we have 7 grams of yeast, and 350 milliliters or 350 grams of lukewarm water. What we're going to do here, take the flour like this. We're going to mix all this stuff here together, like the cheese, the bacon, the jalapenos. Okay, mix this all up real good like this. Okay, this is the way I like doing it. It works out really good this way. I spent 3 months perfecting this recipe, so this is awesome recipe. I'll be right back to show you what we're going to do with the water. Hey guys, you want your water anywhere from 110 to 120, no more than that, or you kill the yeast. Let's put that water right on in the bowl. Okay. Now we're going to take our tablespoon of sugar, put that right in there. I'm going to whisk that up a little bit so it's dissolved. Now let's take our 7 grams of yeast and put that right in there too. I'm going to whisk that up so it's nice and dissolved. Now what we're going to do, I'm going to let that sit for 10 minutes. Also, we can take our salt. We're going to mix that in with the flour too. I forgot to do that, I'm sorry. But that got to go in with the flour. So now we'll sit there and we'll wait for that to start to develop. And we'll start mixing. Okay, now that our yeast is working, what I'm going to do is start adding our flour into the mixer. 1 big tablespoon at a time. I'll be back to show you the next step. Oh, it's clean. So there's nothing left on the sides or anything. And then you set your timer and you let it go for 10 minutes mixing like that. That creates really good gluten and everything else in it and stuff. Good strength to the bread and everything. Okay, now you guys see what I mean? Oh, that's all cleaned up on the bottom. Now we're going to set our timer for 10 minutes. We're going to let this continue going on. It'll be a beautiful, beautiful ball of dough when we're done with it. So, okay guys, our dough is done. After a good 10 minutes of mixing, what I'm going to do is transfer this from the mixing bowl into this other bowl so it can rise anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes. What I'm going to do is spray this down really good. Use a good scraper and we get this out of here. There we go. Let's see. This dough is 70% hydration because it's putting all those extra dry ingredients in. Usually 60% hydration is perfect to work with. And the way you get that number is you take the weight of the flour and you multiply it by 0.65 That will tell you how many grams of water and stuff you need, or you take the amount of water, like 350 grams, divide it by 500 grams of flour, that gives you 0.70, which is 70% hydration. So you can figure out, so if you want, let's say you got 500 grams of flour, and you want to do 65% hydration, what you do is take the 500 grams, multiply it by 0.65, and that will tell you how many grams or milliliters of water that you would need. And the yeast and the salt is always like 2%. But here we go. Now we're going to wrap that up, and we let that set that aside for a while. Okay guys, our dough's doubled in size. What you want to do is punch this down. A little bit of flour on the table here because we're going to shape this into what they call a ball. You know, like doing regular loaves in a loaf pan. This is more fun to me this way here. Punch this down. You don't need much flour. And you want to degas this just a little bit gently, okay? Now what you want to do is take it, stretch it like that. Go to the center. Go around a couple times. I learned this from watching Bake with Jack. You know, this little thing that I do. Just a little bit more. There. You see how I do this? I squeeze underneath so it stretches all the top off of there. So, Chris was trying to figure this one out, my niece. I think he got it by now, but look how nice and round that is. Isn't that beautiful? Yes. Use a 9-inch pie pan. Set this bad boy right on there. And let it raise a second time. I like to put a little bit of spray on top of this so it doesn't dry out. There. Now you're going to let that raise. It's a little bit bigger than this. So it comes to the edge of the pan out here. Then I'm going to pop it in the oven at 350 for about 35 minutes. Bread baking is pretty much a science. The professionals, they don't use recipes, they use what they call formula. Everything's all weighed out in grams and milliliters and stuff like that. No matter how much flour you have, you can always figure out between 60 and 65% hydration, which is perfect dough to work with. And when you do that, let's say you pour out 400 grams of flour, right? And you want 65% hydration on that. So you take 400 grams times 0.65, now equal 260 grams of water. That will give you 65% hydration. Real simple. Same thing with your yeast and your salt, 2%. So that'd be 0.02 on each one of those. Will tell you how many grams. It's real simple. It's the best way to do bread. And instead of using cups, you know, where you dip and scoop it off the top and stuff, it's not ever going to come out accurate for you. It's all come out different every time you do it. But if you use formulas, every single time your bread will be perfect. I guarantee you. If you have any problems with it, email me, give me a call. You know my number. One more thing here while we're waiting for his bread to rise and get ready to stick it in the oven. We're preheating the oven right now at 350 degrees. Is if you want some awesome recipes or formulas, I should say, for bread, go to kingarthurflour.com. I love that website. Everything's all figured out in grams and milliliters and all that good stuff. You have a blast with that, making your own damn English muffins, all this good stuff. It is an awesome, awesome website. I guarantee it. I love this website. My niece loves this website. Everybody who does a lot of baking, they just clamor to King Arthur flour. It's awesome. Okay guys, look at this. Got it up to the edge of the pan, and we're ready to put this baby into the oven. You always want to bake it on a sheet pan because you could end up burning the bottom on just a pie pan. Also, if you're using a loaf pan, do the same thing. Put it on a sheet pan. You can also just put parchment paper down, not use the pie pan. Just put the ball right on the parchment paper. I've done it that way too. But I like this better because it holds the bread shape to this much right here, so it doesn't go any further than that. You get a nice big puff on it. Really pretty. This bad boy in the oven, and we'll see you in about 35 minutes, shall we? Hey guys, looks like our bread's ready. Let's get it out of the oven here. Ooh, isn't that pretty? A couple ways you can tell. Okay, up here at 5,000 feet, and the boiling point for water is quite a bit lower. Good to have a digital thermometer and put that way in the center. If your temperature hits 195, your bread's done. Or if it looks like this on the outside and really nice, and you can make a thumping noise with it. Look how nice that looks. Look at this. When you hear that, well, your bread's done. Now what I like to do is let that cool. I know you want to cut into it right away and put some butter on it. Bad news for doing that. Because this is still part of the baking process, the cool down part, because that's still cooking in there. It's 195 degrees. So what I like to do when it's all done, I like to take my bread, it's all nice and cool, I like to wrap it in saran wrap. Then take a slice off as I go along, and I put it back down on the cutting board, the open end. That way it stays nice and fresh. And this is some good stuff. This is bacon cheddar jalapeno bread, man. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video on the bacon cheddar jalapeno bread, or BCJ, or Southwestern bread, as I can call it sometimes. This will not survive the meal, I guarantee you. You take this, slice that baby open, pass it around, it's going to be gone before your meal's done. But until next time, may your teepee be warm, your hunting plentiful. Later.